We did it! Stadium Series! It wasn't perfect, but nothing is. Giglio, I think you wrote about this, or maybe you had done a shot at Joe to go on this. Essentially, all the woes leading up to the actual game dissipate because everything, once you got inside Carter-Finley Stadium, was so good. It was a spectacle on Saturday. It was awesome to be there. And the 56,961, or the 56,961, nearly 57,000 people there had an experience of a lifetime. It was awesome on Saturday night.
Everything that happened after the puck was dropped was world class.
Yeah.
Amazing. Fantastic. Beyond anyone's dream.
And then Jake Owen did the first intermission.
No, even that was kind of cool. I mean,
I'm kidding.
A country star. He's singing.
I'm kidding.
The Canes also played like. I mean, I was worried about the game itself because it feels like an all-star game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and in all-star games they're not physical. Mm-hmm. You're not out there. It's almost like, hey, we got to put on a show. Canes put on a show, but it was here's how you dominate. Obviously, a Washington team missing some players, notably Alex Ovechkin. But that was a no trifle if you're about that life. When I say that, now people keep in mind, when I say such things, that's what I mean. You go out there and you just mercilessly pound the opponent. You completely dominate the opponent, which is what the Hurricanes did. You want to be about that life? Be about that life. Don't just talk about it. Be about it.
They scored early, which definitely got everybody. And it was interesting, Rod Brindamore after the game, because I was outside. So I wanted to be outside for a good chunk of the first period just to kind of get a sense of what the crowd was like. Because you and I both know, if you've never been in Vaughn Towers, specifically in the press box area, you can barely hear anything. You don't really get a sense of how loud it can get at Carter-Finley Stadium. And Brindamore referenced it after the game where he's like, look, PNC is still louder because of, acoustics, 18,000 people with a lid on it. Whereas with this, there's a different kind of crowd roar that occurs, but still loud. So when that first goal happened, and you could just feel the sense of the roar building, it was pretty awesome. Just like people were hyped up at the beginning of it. You've been drinking all day too, even while you're waiting in the parking lot. That's going to add to things. But to your point about they came out and they were about that life. So one consistency that the Carolina Hurricanes had leading up to the game, they understood that it wasn't an exhibition. This was a regular season game. And what do we always talk about with Rod Brindamore as the head coach?
It's the process, man.
Process.
It's all about the process.
Doesn't matter if you're playing the game at PNC Arena, Carter-Finley Stadium, or if you shove a rink inside Reynolds some way, somehow. The process is the process, and you're going to go out there, you're going to play to the process. And I actually think it's something that began on Thursday night with the Cam Ward festivities and the Hall of Fame thing. So Jordan Stahl, captain of the Carolina Hurricanes, this is post-game. Luke DeCock of the News and Observer had asked him a question that I ended up piggybacking off of, just about, once you got past the spectacle and you started playing hockey, as he put it, you put all the crap aside, you went out there and played a hockey game.
A lot of guys did better than I did tonight, but it was. I think I stuck with it as well. I thought, exactly like you said. I mean, we were definitely nice to get that first goal for sure. That kick, obviously, done a little job to get us on the score sheet. I think that always kind of loosened up a little bit, gets fans into it, and then that second period. I mean, we had control of that whole second period, and we capitalized on our opportunities, and then. Obviously, they did their job in the third period. Sorry, they finished it off.
To Luke's point about kind of putting all the noise aside, we got Thursday with Cam Ward, and you guys put it out there. We got tonight, obviously, down 3 goals. Any other night, I mean, what does that say about the group?
Yeah, I think it's been our consistent play. I mean, it's been like that all year long. I mean, it's hard to really put a record together that we have already to not do that. And obviously, there are nights that are lulls and stuff like that. But these big moments, all the boys have been dialed and really just stuck to exactly how we want to do it. And when we do that, good things happen. Not every time, but collectively, I think when everyone's on and playing the way we want to play, it looks like the week that we've had.
Did you feel like you got the full North Carolina? You've lived here long enough, man. You got 75 degrees on Thursday. The storm comes through.
Yeah.
It's like you're probably thinking this ice is not going to be good, and it's 40. It's perfect today.
Perfect. It was like literally couldn't have written up any better. We almost missed practice yesterday too. It would have been perfect. A little more rain would have been great. We missed practice, but we got out there and up and down the sheet. That was cool, and obviously you got the family out there, so that was great. But it couldn't have drawn it up any better weather-wise. Let's thank the big man upstairs, and it was just really, really, really cool.
When did it hit you? Like, was it when you guys were coming out with the lights and everything going on and the fireworks? Was it?
Honestly, that entrance thing was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I've never done anything like that before. Right. So that was a first. That was a first for me. So and I've been around a little while. So when a first is a first, it's pretty cool. And I thought that was kind of the hit me moment. And we're in something special here. And and then obviously stepping out and just walking around, playing some soccer out there, and and then obviously the start of the game was another moment. So it was a lot of cool things for sure.
Silly question, and I'll let you go after this, and I appreciate it. So after this, you just got to go back to a normal game.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. Back in the building, right?
Yeah, no, our fans they keep it pretty tight in PNC. That's always been rocking, and it's been rocking all year long. So we won't miss that place.
You guys have another goal. We
won't miss that place. Yeah.
That was Jordan Stahl, captain of the Carolina Hurricanes, following the Stadium Series win over the Washington Capitals.
First of all, Jordan Stahl, all class, right?
Pro's pro, man.
Yeah, I'm sure that wasn't exactly at the beginning of the availability either. So
no, it wasn't.
Long day for the players as well. It's been a long weekend for them as well. So many thanks to him.
Yeah, I was telling you, he was actually turning to go back to his stall so he could get out of there, and he was like, oh, okay.
All right. One thing I was thinking about on Saturday night after the game had started, Marty Neches. I thought he was the best player on Saturday.
He's been.
Arguably, he's been their best player this year. He's had some kind of season so far.
Yeah.
Now I want you to think about this, if you're a Canes fan, because this will dovetail into some fan takes about Carolina basketball where they are right now. You want to get rid of people. You want to fire people. You want to, let's get somebody else, right?
Yeah.
Marty Neches is 24 years old, okay? He struggled last year. There is no doubt he struggled last year.
Yeah.
But he has a talent. He has a gift. And Don Waddell and Tom Dunnan, and Rod Brindamore, I'm sure, was an advocate for him as well. They were not willing to just throw him out into the league, into the trash bin. And the faith that they had, they got a good deal, a bridge deal that they gave him. It's a good deal. But look at the way that he's playing, the motivation that he's playing with this year. And quite frankly, none of this works. Remember, Pacioretty was supposed to be the big acquisition. None of this works if someone like Neches doesn't step up and fill the voids left by Trocheck, fill the voids left by Niederreiter. So big on Marty Neches. He put on a show. He almost scored the damn goal of the year, by the way, between his legs.
Yes.
That would have been, you forget all of Svechnikov's.
All the lacrosse goals.
Forget all of them.
Now, that would have been ridiculous.
If he had scored that goal between his legs, it would have been bonkers on that stage. But great for the Canes. Great night for the team. Great night for the NHL. It was just what had happened before the puck had dropped that kind of besmirched some of the day.
We'll get to that, and I think it's important to get to that because I think it kind of speaks to where things need to go in the future around PNC Arena. And I think it's an example of we talk about wanting bigger, better, more professional sports. We want all these events. Well, you want to do that, but it also highlights what we also need to do, and we've been reluctant to do so because of money. Again, it gets back to my central theme of 2023. Is it good enough? People get used to it, and they just deal with it. But I didn't want to start with parking and the complaining and the nitpicking, and all of it valid. I'm not saying it's not valid, because I think the event itself and the memories that people are going to take away from Saturday absolutely overpower anything that was negative about the event. And Jordan Stahl referenced it. Thanks the big man. You wanna thank the hockey gods. I was talking to Nate Johnson, who used to work at WREL as one of our weather guys. Now he's with NBC Universal. And he if you don't know Nate, he is like NC State's weather guy for all the games. He's the one upstairs making sure that is there some sort of storm cell coming through, all that kind of stuff, right? And he said to me, had it been any other day in the last 5-day window, it would have been bad. Because again, we got the full North Carolina. It broke perfectly on Saturday. And I think it highlights once again that the Carolina Hurricanes, regardless of what you think about hockey, the Carolina Hurricanes have provided in this state some of the best moments in sports. Think about it. You go back to the Hornets in the 90s, yeah, they were a phenomenon. There was a fashion thing, starter jackets, all that kind of stuff. Yes, we've had college national championships, but those college national championships take place elsewhere.
Typically not here in the state.
Here. Okay, fine.
State did win one here.
You want to bring up the Big Four tournament? Well, that ended in 1980. Nobody remembers any of that stuff, right? So, in terms of professional sports, if you just wanted to isolate it in professional sports, the Carolina Hurricanes have provided the best moments that you could possibly imagine. Whether it's the 2 cup runs, including the one that they won in 2006, an All-Star game, and then this. I'm not sitting here telling you because it's easy to get caught in the moment. But if somebody told me that is the greatest sporting event that's ever taken place in the state of North Carolina, I would not argue. I would go, yeah. And that's, provided, the history of Dixie Classics and ACC tournaments and the game and all sorts of stuff. But in terms of spectacle, pure spectacle that put this area, specifically Raleigh, in a national setting, I can't think of one. And that was pretty awesome.